This is the moment Mackenzie Shirilla walked into the courtroom, facing charges that would change her life forever. The 19-year-old stood accused of causing the tragic deaths of two young men, her 20-year-old boyfriend Dominic Russo and his friend Davion Flanagan, 19. She thought she had escaped justice, confident that her defense, claiming the crash was a tragic accident and not murder, would set her free. But everything changed when prosecutors dug deeper. The car's black box told a different story, uncovering the shocking truth that turned this case upside down. What once seemed like a heartbreaking accident soon revealed undeniable signs of intent. Her hands trembled, her eyes filled with tears, as the judge's words cut through the silence. A failed suicide attempt is not a defense to murder. Two young men were gone forever. One moment that sparked outrage came during Mackenzie Shirilla's arrest. As officers moved in, her voice trembled, not with fear, but with concern. "Please, be careful with my bracelet," she said softly, glancing down at her wrist as the handcuffs clicked shut.
Need him.
Well, taking this one off so it doesn't break the bracelet, please.
You got it. You got it. No.
Thank you.
You got it. Okay, just keep your hands right here.
It was a brief exchange, yet it spoke volumes. While lives had been lost, her focus seemed to be somewhere else entirely. If you want to know how justice was finally served in this case, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications because the shocking twist in this case will leave you speechless. It was a quiet summer morning in Strongsville, Ohio, July 31st, 2022. At 5:30 a.m., a silver Toyota Camry came speeding down Progress Drive. Inside were three teenagers, Mackenzie, just 17 at the time, and her two passengers, Dominic Russo, 20, and Davion Flanagan, 19. They'd been friends driving home after a night out, but something happened inside that car. Something that would change everything. Security cameras caught the moment the vehicle accelerated through the empty industrial area, 100 miles per hour, before it slammed into a building. The impact was so violent that the engine was thrown 100 feet away. Dominic and Davion were killed instantly. Mackenzie was found unconscious, trapped behind the wheel, barely alive.
Bust that window out.
All right.
Rookie.
You got
Oh my God. Who can hear my voice? Who's in here? Drivers, on. Radio.
I copy.
Radio, they're going straight, all three. Come here. Call him the plates. Let him call it in. Oh my God.
Can you see her breathing?
She's breathing.
When investigators pulled the black box data, what they found shocked even seasoned officers. Mackenzie had floored the gas pedal, never touching the brake. It wasn't an accident, it was deliberate. Before the crash, Mackenzie lived what seemed like a typical teenage life. At just 17, she was a high school senior from Strongsville, Ohio, known for her love of makeup, fashion, and documenting moments on social media. Friends described her as energetic, outgoing, and deeply attached to her boyfriend, Dominic Russo. Their relationship was passionate but complicated, filled with youthful highs and emotional lows that those close to them often noticed. Dominic was older, confident, and free-spirited, while Mackenzie was still finding her place in the world. Together, they were inseparable, but behind the smiles and photos, cracks were forming, a mix of love, dependency, and tension that no one realized would soon turn deadly. Friends say the night before the crash, they had a fight. Words were said that couldn't be taken back. Some believe Mackenzie was devastated, desperate to fix things. Others think she wanted Dominic to feel the pain she felt. No one knows what went through her mind as she gripped that steering wheel. But what's clear is That car became her final decision. If you believe there's always more to the story, hit that subscribe button, because this one will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about justice and intent. It was early morning on July 31st, 2022, when a knock came at Dominic Russo's family home. His mother opened the door to see officers standing there, faces solemn, eyes heavy. She knew instantly something was wrong. The words that followed shattered her world. Her 20-year-old son had died in a car crash. At first, she thought it was a terrible accident, but as the details unfolded, the speed, the impact, the evidence, her heartbreak turned to disbelief. The girl she'd welcomed into her home, Mackenzie Shirilla, wasn't just a survivor. She was now accused of murder. For months, investigators combed through evidence. The crash data showed no mechanical failure, no skid marks, no brake lights. Toxicology tests showed traces of THC, marijuana, in her system, but no alcohol. When Mackenzie recovered in the hospital, she faced the unimaginable. She'd survived, but her friends hadn't. She posted tributes on social media, expressing grief and heartbreak, calling Dominic the love of her life. But investigators saw something else. Patterns of reckless behavior, previous speeding, and the final text messages that hinted at emotional turmoil. In November 2022, Mackenzie Shirilla was arrested after months of investigation into the fatal crash. As officers placed her in handcuffs, her concern wasn't the charges, it was her bracelet. "Please be careful with it," she said softly. That small request left many stunned by her apparent lack of remorse. Prosecutors charged her with murder, felonious assault, and aggravated vehicular homicide. They claimed she intentionally turned that car into a weapon after an argument, choosing death over heartbreak. When the trial began, the courtroom was packed. The prosecution played chilling footage. The car racing down the street seconds before impact. They described it as a mission of death. Mackenzie sat quietly, shaking, tears streaming down her face as she watched the video. Her defense argued that she lost control, that it was a tragic accident, possibly a fainting episode caused by POTS, a medical condition that affects heart rate and blood pressure. But the evidence, the data, the lack of braking, and the speed told a different story. "No sentence will ever bring our sons back." Those were the words spoken through tears by the families of Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan. Dominic's mother described her son as the light of every room, full of dreams, laughter, and loyalty. She said her heart stopped the moment police told her he was gone. She spoke of his dreams, his laughter, and how he planned to start a new chapter in life before it was all stolen away. Davion's family called him a gentle soul who always put others first. They said the hardest part wasn't just losing him, it was knowing how senselessly it happened. Looking directly at Mackenzie Shirilla, one parent whispered, "I hope every morning you wake up, you remember what you took from us." Then came a pause, silent, heavy, and filled with grief, as justice was finally served. On August 21st, 2023, Judge Russo found Mackenzie guilty on all counts, including murder, felonious assault, and aggravated vehicular homicide. She then sentenced her to 2 concurrent life terms with the possibility of parole after 15 years. When the judge read the words, the courtroom fell silent. Mackenzie began to cry, her mother sobbing behind her. But across the aisle, the victims' families embraced, finally feeling that justice had been served. The judge didn't hold back. He said she had a mission. She made a decision. And it was not an accident he ruled that Mackenzie would serve 2 concurrent life sentences, eligible for parole after 15 years. As deputies led her away, she mouthed, "I'm sorry, but for the families of Dominic and Davion, those words would never be enough." Dominic's mother said, "She took my heart, my baby. I hope she sits every day and remembers what she did." And Davion's loved ones said they forgave her, but would never forget. Outside the courtroom, debate erupted online. Was this justice or punishment too harsh for a teenager who made a tragic mistake? Some called it murder. Others saw a broken girl who lost control. Mackenzie now serves her sentence. Dominic's and Davion's families continue to honor their memories through memorials, community tributes. One decision changed everything. 3 lives shattered, 2 gone forever. Was justice truly served? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more real stories that reveal the truth behind the headlines, where every case reminds us how fragile life and justice can be. See you in the next video.